Welcome to the Lion's Den, a place you'll find just men talking. I'm your host, Renard, and I'm here with some guests that was with us in the first season. And this is our celebration of season 1. And we're just going to have a conversation. We just had some good food. We fed our bellies. Now we want to feed our minds and our souls.
Yes, indeed.
So how are we, gentlemen?
Good.
Doing well. Doing well.
Good, man.
Yeah,
Good
man.
eating, good food, good conversation.
Yeah. So we were talking about several things early before. We were talking about emotions, male and female emotions, where they sort of intersect.
How to deal with it.
How to deal with it, exactly. Yeah, but in season 2, what I began, I had 2 doctors on, and Dr. Master and Dr. Rayburn. One is the head of clinical trials at Christiana Care, and the other is the head of radiology at Christiana Care. And Dr. Rayburn, the head of radiology, he told me about some books. Outlive, and that's by Peter Attia, and Super Ager by Eric Topol. And those books, the second book is pretty intense. It's pretty technical. But the first book talked about where medicine is going. And what they talked about is the holistic approach, sort of the thing that we've been, walking this journey about. And it talks about, physical, mental, and the inner you, your soul. You're getting in touch with yourself. And that's where actual medicine is going. So, and they're looking at genes and looking at how you're impacted by these different diseases and different things to do. And it was just amazing to find out that medicine is going where we're looking to go. And also, they talked about how do you get there? Prevent it from the beginning. People that already have illnesses and so on. But the way to prevent it or slow growth is to actually, change your habits, your life, your food, the way you eat, your movement, your motions, your eating. Eat less. Supersize. I think supersize is what killed America when they started supersizing meals. So what do you guys think? You think medicine going to a holistic approach will work, or do you think medicine should be separate, where you got your chemists going in and giving you these chemical drugs, as opposed to finding other holistic treatments to get you there, like physical fitness, the foods that you eat, the way they're prepared? Any thoughts?
So I think holistic approach would be a good way to go.
Mm-hmm.
But as we well know, everything's about money.
Yes.
And a lot of these pharmacies and doctors or whatever, they're not going to make that same amount of money if you go that holistic compared to having your lab creating and charging whatever you want to charge for whatever it is. Health-wise, body-wise, holistic should be the ideal direction you want to go.
Exactly.
Get to know who you are, and what works for you might not work for the next one. But I think that should be the direction you should go. But we all know that money rules, that dollar bill rules. Boy.
Now, the thing about it, though, I think the money is from the pharmaceutical.
That's what I mean.
As opposed to the doctor.
But you gotta understand, some of these doctors have family and friends. That
they work hand in hand.
Give me this drug, I'll hook you up.
Right, exactly.
So it can be, but some of them got family and friends up in there too.
And I think, for me, I think it can go both ways. If you look at it, medicine versus what you're trying to do for yourself as well before you take the medicine, you got to see where you are first.
Right, exactly.
And all the stuff that they have right here, you got to still do your homework, read up on it, Google it, do some research.
Yes.
The same way if you try to change your way of eating to make yourself healthier, you got to read up on some stuff, get the right stuff, versus getting a whole lot of medicine first. Because a lot of the medicine got a lot of side effects.
Yes.
And if you don't read the fine print about a lot of this medicine, it can do more harm than good.
Exactly.
It's the same thing about your health. Same way.
Right.
If we don't take time now to check ourselves before we wreck ourselves, we're gonna be messed up even more because we constantly feeding everything into this flesh, into our bodies, and not worrying about the consequences later.
Exactly.
And then when you get sick, you trying to figure out what's the best thing to take. Well, if you don't get your mind set on try to weigh things out or slow things down or eat less, all this medicine that you think it's going to help you, it can do good, it can do bad.
Yeah, I can argue.
So it can go both ways.
Yeah.
I know everybody out here trying to make everything different, make everything better for everybody. And all the stuff they out here is not all bad, and it's not all good.
Yeah.
So we still got to do our part.
Right.
So we can either pay now or we pay later.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So when we talk about holistic, there's so many different. When we talk about holistic, there's so many different ways of or definitions of being holistic. So I think about maybe about a couple months ago, me and Rob was talking about numbers, glucose numbers, cholesterol numbers, and things like that.
Yeah.
Now, let me preface by saying I was a vegetarian for 31 years. I didn't eat any fish, any meat, anything at all for 31 years. I just started eating fish maybe 2 years ago, about 2 or 3 years ago. And so I did that because my doctor was saying, yo, your good cholesterol is low and your bad cholesterol is high. And I said, man, damn. Here I am thinking, I'm not overweight, anything like that. So to a certain point, it could be one thing about vegetarians, or sometimes we can consume a lot of stuff like substitute products and stuff like that that are really not good for you. Or you find yourself, like today, I had carbs because there was nothing, I had the greens and stuff to kind of balance it out. So I think during that 31 years, some of it is probably genetic, but some of it is also how I was eating when I'm thinking I'm eating healthy, but I'm still doing some other stuff that could be harmful. So it could be the balance between genetics and also, that.
Well, the crab cake was protein, wasn't it?
Yeah, but I'm saying, I was just using that as an example, the carb stuff.
Yeah.
But so, me thinking, like again, from a holistic standpoint, I'm thinking, okay, I'm not eating any meat, and I'm not eating any red meat, anything like that, so I should be the most healthiest person, walking around. But again, you have to balance that out. So then, doctor said, all right, I want you to take statins, and I want you to take some metformin and whatever for the glucose and stuff like that. So I struggled with it for a while. So I said, all right, let me give it a shot. I did start with the statins, but I wasn't doing it every day. I would take it every other day. My numbers came back good. So I'll stay with that routine. But in the meantime, I'm trying to balance everything all out again. I still eat fish, but I've got to really pay attention to what I'm eating, and I got to be more active and stuff like that. But again, when we talk about holistic, there's another part of it is your mindset. So if I'm dealing with stress at the job, no matter what I'm doing in terms of what I'm putting in my body,
that stress is going to eat it up.
Or the stress is going to has a negative effect on everything I do. So I was listening to the other day. I was listening to this podcast, and they were talking about cancer patients, and they said that those cancer patients who have a positive attitude tend to outlive those ones who take that negative mindset. So again, that's another point of a holistic. We talk about exercise, mental stability, getting rid of that stress, positive attitude, so all those things. And then other people look at holistic, they might say, oh, I'm gonna start taking dandelion leaf, or I'm gonna turn to medical marijuana or some other stuff. So it's different, so many different ways of looking at it holistically.
But holistic, that's a method, but holistic is actually mind, body, and soul. Looking at the whole body and taking care of it. So that's mentally, physically, and I guess you could say emotionally, like the stress
and
levels.
not just consuming it. How are you consuming it?
Right.
Because once you start channeling stuff, it's just like you on a diet or you doing an exercise routine. You got to start somewhere, here, there, or where. You got to start somewhere. And if you don't start somewhere, you ain't gonna get no effects from nothing.
Right.
Right.
See what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
Right.
So you got to make a start. Okay, this day I'm gonna do this. The next day, I might skip that. The next day I might start something else different. But starting is better than doing nothing at all.
Right.
But you got to start somewhere.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And even when you were saying about the mind, positive attitude, it's hard sometimes. But then when you sit back and think about it, what if I'm the only one feeling like this? What if I'm the only one going through this? Check this out. No, there's a lot of people going through the same thing.
Right.
But you got to find something that's going to occupy you, that you got interest in,
Right.
to help you stay positive, even do when things get rough.
Yes.
It's even as an old song or something. Remember something that's going to bring you a little bit of life and joy to you.
Yeah.
Think about something like that, get you in a positive rim. Then every day when you face a hard struggle in your life,
You turn to that.
you turn to that.
Yeah, something. Yeah.
Instead of turning to something negative,
Right.
turn to something positive. I'll help you along the way.
Yeah, and I remember earlier when you talked about how when you sat in this podcast earlier, how it helped you. You want to talk a little bit about that?
Because before, I was feeling similar like what you were saying. My mom was all over the place. I was mixed emotions. I felt like nobody cared, and I felt like I was going through it by myself. When I sat in this podcast, it helped me a whole lot to open up, to vent, to say how I really felt, because I was struggling with it. And I'm better now than I've ever been. And this was way back in 2010 when I first did the podcast with him. What was it, last year?
Yeah, it was last year.
Last year,
I forgot what
I've been totally different. And you talking about positive energy?
So you talking about 15 years then?
Yeah.
15 years, and he's sitting. I'm not going to pat myself on the back, but he sits in the podcast, and now he's a new man. I'm just playing.
Old thing passed away. Old thing's come dead.
But I just
You
start somewhere.
might get a free detail.
Won't cost a dollar.
Yeah.
They had to start somewhere.
Yeah,
and you
right.
had to be willing to come to that.
There you go.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And be
absolutely.
comfortable enough
Yeah.
to talk about it.
Yeah,
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
With the holistic approach, man, I feel like over time you should hopefully know yourself in some areas at some point anyway. Like if I get sick, I know I can do this, that, and the other.
Right.
I can get myself back together, kind of, sort of. Me personally, growing up, I was never, I guess because my dad never really took meds, I never seen my mom like barely took medicine, so I don't even depend on medicine at all that much. And but yeah, mind, body, and soul. I feel like if you have a good day, it alleviates the stress. You know what I mean? Like not finding a way to not to deal with it. Riding a bike, I did that plenty of times.
Yeah.
Rough day at work, I gotta rip it one time. You said Route 1, Route 40, 13, Route 9, Route 12. Just have a knowing what works for you.
Yeah.
How you get on the game.
Mm-hmm.
Like decompression. I know when I get off work, I got a 30-minute ride. I'm ready for it. I'm excited for that time so I can get home and, like you said, not bring work home. It's just I feel like knowing yourself helps.
Yeah.
To know what you need to do.
Yeah.
I need to
Be
do a
in
detox
touch with you.
for a month.
And that's good.
Yeah, yeah.
Knowing yourself. It is 67. I'm 67, and I think about where I was 20, 30 years ago. Right? I think somebody said they was 36. I said I remember the 36 when I was doing things at 36, or how my life was at 36.
Right.
But when you sit back and look at where I am now, I'm thankful that I'm not where I used to be compared to where I am now.
Yes.
So that right there is a positive thing for me in my head. Even look back yesterday compared to today.
Yeah.
All you got to do is start thinking.
Yeah. One day at a
When you
time.
start thinking, then you start thanking them.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You might not be where you want to be, but you're not where you used to
Used to be.
be.
Exactly.
You know?
Yeah.
How do we share? How do you express or get a? How do we get all these thoughts that we have in our head? How do we project that to somebody like who's watching this video now, so that they understand that there's always going to be struggles, there's always going to be victories, and if you just understand that there's always going to be struggles, and that we all of us here have had these struggles, and yet today we still sit here because we didn't give into whatever it is.
Right.
You didn't give into the diagnosis. You didn't give into maybe losing a job and having to find another one. You didn't give into the stress of, having retired and then go back and find another job. Because and not just from a health, but well, it is a mental health thing, because you see so many people now. They say the suicide rate for young people, is
Crazy.
It's going up every year. It's because if for some reason they have an inability to deal with stress or the inability to deal with being successful at something, especially in this climate of social media where everybody's on there flashing, everybody got blinging, and everybody's doing this. So you think, man, everybody, they're on vacation, they got a nice car, everybody doing something to me. What am I doing wrong? When we know half them people are lying,
Right,
or whatever,
right.
exaggerating, lying.
They're struggling.
Struggling for real.
Struggling
Right.
behind the
Right.
scenes. They struggling. Because I've known some people who did that. They struggling.
So how do we get it? How do we get that?
They want that image out there that they living high and
Right.
mighty.
So how do we get that across to everybody? Say, look, you're gonna have peaks and you're gonna have valleys. That's just the way life is. But you gotta dig in. You gotta overcome those things, and before you know it, you'll find yourself being able to deal with those type of situations.
Well, it
Get
just
better and better.
just go back what King said. If you want to be personal, you got to know you. Once you find out whose you are versus how you are, then I think you can relate to yourself even more. A lot of times we can't meet people where they are because sometimes we forget where we came from. In the same path that we trying to do to help somebody else, we was there.
Right.
So let's try to share the love and share the wisdom in a positive attitude, try to encourage somebody else, because they not alone.
Right.
But they got to find out what they need to do. They got to accept where they are. They got to work on what's bothering them. Reach out to those that's been there as they hear the podcast, and hope that they can be encouraged. Hey, I know what he's talking about now, and I experienced that. For what these men are saying is real talk.
Right.
That's what they need to hear. Real talk.
Real talk. Yeah, exactly. And the point is, you have to know you, and you have to be who you are. That's where it starts.
Yeah.
It starts in the mirror. That person that you look at, that looks back at you in the mirror, that's who you have to satisfy.
We both talked about that.
That's who you have to satisfy. Anything else is noise. You focus on your life and get your life. What someone else has, more power to them. But it's what you have. Because what they drive, you can't drive. That's theirs.
Right.
Get yours.
And like Wes was saying, a few minutes ago, they struggling. Yeah, we was talking about just the automobiles.
Yeah.
It don't have be nothing new.
Right.
Just take care of
Just
it.
maintain it.
Go.
That's how it is with your body. You don't know what it took for me to get where I am.
Right.
I don't know what it took for you to get where you are. But listen, here's the key: if each one of us tell our story, we can overcome by each of our stories help one another.
Exactly.
Sharing
That's
things,
therapy within
networking.
itself.
Yeah.
Just talking.
Just talking tonight.
Yeah.
You'd be surprised what you say is reaching somebody already.
Exactly.
It ain't so much how much you say, it's how you say it.
How you present it.
How you present it.
Exactly. I think one of my issues that I had family-wise, I'm gonna change a little bit. This younger generation, that we was touching on it earlier. This younger generation, how to communicate, how to express themselves. You know, and who to express yourself to. Because sometimes the ones you're talking to might not be there to support you and get you to where you need to go. You know, and the reason I like I said, just not to get all into the family thing, but you had to really, you don't want to push them, but you don't want to stay away either. You know what I mean? Because if you step away, now you're letting other people get into
Right,
that circle. You don't want to push them, and hopefully one day they open up. And hopefully that one day they open up, it's not too late.
Right.
Just keep talking.
Just keep letting them know.
Just stay there.
Little, just keep letting them know. Keep
One
letting them
day
know.
it'll sink in.
And hopefully one day it'll sink in, and hopefully that one day it won't be too late. And they'll be able to realize, okay, you know what? You were right. As they get older and start experiencing more life,
Exactly.
they'll start saying, you know what, you were right. But I'm trying to get them to get to that point of getting older and experiencing more life, and not, just throwing their hands up and calling it quits.
And one thing too,
you ain't even 21 yet, you know what I mean? So
many of them are socially awkward because of the internet, because of social
media has been a beast.
They're awkward. They don't know how to communicate. They can't sit and talk like this.
No, they're like this.
Right.
Look, go into a restaurant and walk and see how many people are like this. Sitting at a table.
Right.
Like this. You know what I mean? We go, everybody push their phone.
Right.
And one thing about all that, what you just said, we can't give up on the young people.
No.
We can't give up on us here, right? Somebody got to stand in the gap.
Yeah.
So even though we might not be able to reach them the way we want to reach them, well, at least we can still be the dad. We can still be the mom.
Right.
We can still be the example. Sometimes we had to pump our brakes and put a kickstand down and say, I'm not gonna get too hard on right now.
Right.
Because they're gonna fall.
They're gonna shut down on you.
And then they're gonna shut down.
Yep.
But we still got to be there to say, okay, you went through that. How did it make you feel?
Exactly.
And then once they tell you how they made them feel, then they're gonna start open up.
Yeah.
So we still got to leave a little hook right there where they know mom and dad still got me, but mom and dad ain't gonna do but so much.
Right.
I got to learn some stuff on my own. Got to balance it. Yeah.
I think the younger generation, a lot of people let them fall. You gotta fall. Sometimes you gotta let people fall.
Say that again.
You gotta let people fall.
Yeah.
Feel it sometimes.
Yeah.
Just get it like a reality check sometimes.
There's it.
And
Yeah.
a lot of people grow up and they have that cushion all the time, so they don't have to feel the fall.
No.
And then
That's good.
Real life experience.
Right.
That's good.
Exactly.
And age don't have anything to do with it.
No.
It does not.
We was talking about that earlier. It's how you present yourself, how you conduct yourself, how you carry yourself.
Yeah.
I can learn from you, and you, and which I have.
Right. Yeah.
You can learn from everybody. Use what you can use for what you hear to help you.
Right.
Then, if you need more help, there's more help out there for you to get.
Yeah,
But you got to do some footwork yourself.
Yeah. You got it.
Man, Michael talking about that earlier. We got to do some footwork ourselves.
I found that I had prostate cancer, and it was devastating news. I was only 55. Christiana Care gave me options. I had a prostatectomy and radiation.
At Christiana Care, we are utilizing innovative technologies to deliver very precise radiation therapy like CyberKnife and VMAT to improve patient outcomes. But great care always starts first with compassion and understanding.
Dr. Rabin and the team made me feel at ease and explained everything in a way that I can understand. They were so kind and caring. I decided to be a part of a clinical trial because I knew it would help others.
Clinical trials can improve outcomes by offering patients access to advanced technologies and treatments that they otherwise would not be privy to at Christiana Care.
I am now on a crusade to get the word out. I created a podcast called The Lion's Den to share stories and talk about important men's health issues. Best advice? Go to the doctor. Get annual physicals. This could change everything, as it did for me. I am now 63 and I feel great. Nothing is guaranteed, but we're all in this together. I'm glad that I had the Christiana Care team there when I needed them most. Yep, we're in church every Sunday. We got to walk like we're there.
And we not we're not right every day.
No.
We fall short just like everybody else.
But what I'm saying, you got to step out on faith.
You got to step out,
You got to step out. I remember.
Progress.
I used to go to what's it called? 8th Street Baptist, I think.
Yes.
Townsend is the preacher.
Yes.
So I was there, and he was just talking about being afraid, and his tagline was, "Go scared." Although you're afraid, still continue to move. Still continue to go forward. Yep. And then another thing he said that sort of stuck with me is like he said, every obstacle isn't really an obstacle. So you're walking and there's a door, and you don't see a handle on that door or anything, and you're walking closer, and you're like, how am I going to get in? But the closer you got to that door, when you got to a certain spot, the door opened.
Yeah.
That's good.
So every obstacle isn't an obstacle.
Right.
But if you keep marching towards the mark,
Keep moving forward.
That's it. See, you just made me think of something. We get stuck a lot of times in motions, mentally, because we don't move.
yes.
Long as you keep moving, listen, there's still hope. But once we stop,
Right. Yeah.
you stuck.
Yeah.
Don't
You're
get
gonna
stuck.
run over or left behind.
Just keep moving.
I'm telling you.
You talk about holistic. There's something that I remember you said, and it's crazy, but it's something simple, but yet we take it for granted. And I bet you can't guess what it is, man. But you the one that reminded me of what it is.
Okay.
He said, okay.
I say so much. I'm the guru.
It's as simple as breathing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't want to underestimate how impactful that is, man. Because you find yourself in situations, and sometimes all you gotta do is just take a deep breath,
Take a deep
There you go.
breath.
breathe.
There you go.
And all of a sudden, the thought will come to you like, oh, this is how I handle that.
Yeah.
That's
You know-
clarity. It's like you get
Yeah.
sharp.
Yeah.
Breathe, man.
Or step back from where you thinking about it, or what the problem is on a job. Take a 5 minutes step away from the job
Right.
or the issue. When you come back, it's clear.
Right.
Because the more you ponder and try to dig into it, you will never find a real solution about it. But step back away from it, and sooner or later it'll come clear to you. Like what you just said a few minutes ago. I see difference in you already. Cause your wheels were spinning.
Yeah.
Now you're more at ease. You're more comfortable.
Yeah.
Positive attitude around with positive people give you positive strength.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed.
It's too much negativity out here in the world anyway.
Way
Everywhere.
We got to be help one to another. It's the smallest thing that we do makes a difference, not the biggest thing.
Right. Oh yeah.
Oh, brother, I appreciate you, man.
Right.
You know,
Well, sometimes you get so you can bring that negativity just based on something you see, and you automatically look at it from a negative standpoint because you seen a video or something, or you see something. You ever like somebody come to you like, oh, all right, here we go, and the person just say, yo, man, what's up? My name is Mike. Or sometimes we don't even speak to each other. We walk.
yeah.
Two brothers will walk by each other, and you already are making assumptions about you. Oh, this guy, I can see right now. He just
Anybody know?
you know, whatever. You know, or you walking towards you like, oh boy, let me hold on. This dude about to step to me, and all you want to do is say, yo, man, you dropped your keys or something
Right.
like
Exactly.
that. You know, you like, oh man, I was thinking negative, like he's about to come jack me or something like that.
That's how you thought when I came up today. I'm glad you brought it up.
I came walking up there. You about to say, yo, man, you. I came through that end over there. I was walking there. And he turned around, look. I'm like, he probably saying, oh, what's up, man?
Yeah, man.
What's up, bro?
I'm glad you brought it tonight. I'm glad you brought it tonight, man. Thank you.
We make assumptions
Yeah.
about
Yeah.
something that's happening. And you might, you know.
Yeah.
Yep. And when we talked earlier, we were talking about the different procedures around prostate cancer and how, like opening you up and so on, and the different things that we went through. And you asked, how do you make those choices? And the choice is yours. And in my situation, I had, well, two choices, but one of the choices had a couple ways to be administered. One was radiation, where they took radioactive pellets and put it into the prostate, which kills the prostate, which remains in the body. The second was removal of the prostate, and they can remove it in two ways. One would be to open you up and take it out of your stomach. The other would be minimally invasive, and they'll use a robot and do incisions, and then take it out that way. That's the way I went. That was the least invasive and better. And as you said earlier, well, what did you say happened? What could happen when they open you up?
The air.
The air. just like a little particle floating in the air. They might not get all of it, but still, if you get a little strain of cancer floating around, it can still be there and it start growing progressive later.
Wow.
It might not come back in the same spot,
Right.
but it can come back in another area.
As soon as it finds a blood
Off of you,
source.
off of you
that-
being opened up.
Yes, yes. Yep.
Oh, and in the second podcast with Dr. Raven, we were talking about the progression of radiation, and he said there's something called cyberknife now, and it's like they go in and it's almost like slicing you with radiation laser. Thank you. that will cut it out of you. So they're making some good strides in making it better. Even in the medications that they give you, he said there's been some progression there too. So things are changing. Now I was a part of a clinical trial. What do you guys think of clinical trials? I know Tuskegee, but
what are we doing a clinical trial towards? I think would be my first question. You know what I mean?
well, I was a part of a clinical trial, and in the clinical trial, what they did to me, I had less. When I got my prostate removed, 6 months later I went back, and my numbers were elevating again. So my PSA test, those numbers were elevating, and it was like 2 point something. He said, well, because of it, we're going to send you for radiation. So when I go to the radiologist to talk about it, there was a trial where they would would be less visits, but higher doses of radiation. So and then the side effects. So the test was, would you have the same or more side effects? If it's more side effects, then you don't want to do it. But if it's the same, it gives the patient, me, less visits to go back and go under that, that radiation tube. And that's what that test was. And in the patients that took the test that was in the trial that I was in, it was successful. So they do it, but on case by case, because it goes, they look at the prostate and see how the gene, how was it aggressive or not, and if it was aggressive, then they want to take a more aggressive approach.
Yeah, I don't see anything wrong with that. You gotta try things to figure things out.
Because truly, every cure came from
most likely
trial.
came from
Right.
Now here's the problem with trials though, is that those trials were done on Caucasians, people other than black.
Right.
So those studies aren't they're not accurate because our bodies are different. So it needs more people of different backgrounds
To have a good, accurate reading.
and they can help you better.
Right.
And that's kind of what they're talking about in holistic medicine. They're looking at the individual, not on a mass scale.
Yeah.
So on the doses that they gave the second go around, do they?
So,
You said they gave you higher doses.
then they were normal. It wasn't. I didn't have two different.
Okay.
It was one period of radiation.
Okay.
But it was higher than they would give anyone else and less visits.
Okay.
So if you had, just trying to understand what you're saying, if you had 6 visits with this amount of doses, now you're down to 3 with the double doses.
Well,
That's what I was trying to figure out.
what it is most people had 14 visits.
Right, because I remember Marv was saying somebody
Yeah, 14
times.
visits.
Right.
I had 8. But the dose that I got was higher than the person that went 14.
Okay.
Okay.
So it shortened the amount of time.
Right, but a higher dose.
Higher doses.
So overall, it's still kind of the same.
No, I got
Dosage,
more. I
but
got
the
more.
person-
I
I'm
got
saying-
more radiation than the people that went 14.
Okay.
So how they looked at how they figure that out though?
Through these trials. Through the trials. They study it in Europe, and then they studied it in other countries. Then they brought it here and studied it. They saw the impact of the patients in Europe. Then they started doing the trials here. But it's, you know, all these doctors, they got this board.
Yeah, like a chart, rather.
Right, that they go through and, you know, all around the world and do these studies.
Okay.
So you go to your primary doctor says you have prostate cancer. Then what's the next step?
Well, no, the primary doctor doesn't say that.
He sends you to a specialist.
Yeah, exactly. The primary doctor gives me a PSA.
Right.
My PSA level was high.
Right.
They recommended that I go and see a urologist.
Right. You go to
I went to the urologist.
Right.
The urologist did a biopsy
They confirm.
of the prostate. And when he did the biopsy, it came back cancerous.
Okay, so urologist at that point says, all right, you got 4 or 5 options. So urologist, then you have to go, depending on what you select, you have to go find that specialist or whoever does that, like whoever specializes in that form of treatment, or.
Well, no, they're all sort of linked. So I go to the urologist, and you know, he gives me the tests, and then we continue. And as I said, my levels were increasing. So he said, now you need radiation. I recommend radiation because radiation should kill it. And see, one thing that I
Your neurologist is the one who administers the radiation.
No, the radiologist does.
I think that's kind of what you was asking. Does he do it, or does he send you to somebody
He
else?
sent me to the radiologist.
Okay.
I'm saying, like, you see the commercials, they say, come to this hospital, we specialize in targeted radiation. Another hospital says, we specialize in robotic radiation treatment. This person, you know, all these Cooper, whatever, they got all these cancer hospitals and stuff.
Well, is that the only option you had? Like, did you have, like you saying, did you have different options?
To
treat urologists.
Oh, what, for urologists? Could I go to any
recommended
urologist?
radiation, but
For
were there
treatment.
other, like you said, you could have took a holistic approach, right?
Well, at that stage, there was no holistic approach. At that stage, you know, you had to act. Excuse me. If I did nothing, it could have, you know,
Went another way.
Went another way. I neglected to say this earlier. If I had gone the route early on and got the radioactive pellets injected into my prostate, that would have been it. It would have been one and done. So if anything else happened, there would be no recourse. So in having a prostatectomy, what that gave me choices. I could have radiation, and if the radiation didn't work, I could escalate it to chemo. And he explained that because of the area it's so tight, you got the pelvis, you got your urethral tubes, your bladder, your bowels, all in that tight area. And so they had to make sure they target it. When the prostate's in the body, of course, those things are in different areas. The areas are different. Now that the prostate's gone, they shift. So that's why they needed the pellets, because when it shifted, they wanted to make sure they got the right
Just
spot.
right, yeah. Gotcha.
So
Yeah, it's a lot.
And I think for you, different is, did you get the conversation with the family?
Yeah.
The wife and all
Yeah.
that? For you, did you have a conversation with anybody? Or you
oh yeah,
made
yeah.
that
No, I
decision?
was married at the point.
Okay,
I was married
okay.
during
Yeah,
the period.
yeah.
So and that was what was good for my family. That's what was good for the family. You know, we talked about it, and that was the best route.
Same thing with me, because I had 4 options, and like I talked to my wife, and I told everybody what was going on, and me and her decided whatever decided was good with her, because I felt like if I didn't do the step that I did go, and if I didn't do it, I felt like I still would be more of a risk. All we're gonna do is slow everything down. It'll still be there. It will still be inside of me. With the seeds and radiation and all that, it's just slowing everything down. So I decided to go with the robotic surgery to get everything right.
To me, it's good to have this because, as I mentioned, having it in my family, and all of a sudden it pops up. So now we all are getting checked now.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
But it's good to have these conversations because if I ever came to the point where now I got to make a decision. Not only can I talk to the wife, but I know some brothers who have been through it, and I can have a conversation with you and let you know, this is what I got going on.
Yeah.
What are my options based on your experience?
Well, years ago, the stats was any man from 40, whatever, should start getting checked.
Right.
But I'm saying you should get checked earlier. How will you feel? 40 to me, I was in my 50s when I got it. 15 years ago. And it still bothered me then. And it still bothers me sometimes when I think about it. Because if I went to the doctor earlier to get it checked, I'd probably been better advanced of taking care of myself better. But I wasn't going to doctors for that. I had good insurance on my job and everything. Vern just wasn't going to the doctors.
Right.
See what I'm saying? Yeah, and that's interesting you say that because for me, I started going to the doctor when I turned 40. I don't know if you remember when I talked about this in church. When I turned 40, I started going to the doctors on a regular because I wanted to start taking care of myself. And that's when I found out I have a different kind of cancer. And if I didn't go and start doing that, who knows
where
I would be.
Right.
Because I was proactive and as I mentioned, because I was proactive and not reactive.
Yes.
My treatments that I do has prolonged me. Even though statistically I've beaten the numbers.
Yeah.
Statistically, I have beaten the numbers because on average the age
right
that they're talked about, I've already surpassed that.
Okay.
But I still think it's because I was proactive.
Right.
And I jumped on this when I turned 40.
Right.
And decided to start taking
that makes
care of
sense.
myself.
Yeah.
So I every now and then I gotta have my fried fish and my fried chicken.
Yeah.
But I don't do it as much.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's like my diet changed. I love to work out a little bit more, but I hate working out, but I gotta work a little bit more. But because I was proactive in turning 40, I think that helped me beat the system. And I'm basically glad to say it.
You were proactive, so you
That's why I
could
said
be
proactive.
reactive.
Yeah, so proactive and not be reactive. Exactly. Right.
So, gentlemen, this was a great conversation. I really appreciate it. I think we touched on some very important topics.
We gotta do this again, bro.
Yes, we got to. We got to continue. We got to continue.
This was nice, man.
Yes,
Really good.
I'm just trying to find a reason to come out and chill. This oasis.
Yeah. Welcome to the Lions Den.
Good conversation and a nice oasis.
This is nice.
Only thing I need is some water trickling.
We can make that work.
A little fountain,
Yeah, we can make it work.
Remember, if you don't take time for your wellness, you'll be forced to make time for your illness. Once again,
put that on a shirt.
Once again,
put that on a hat or a
if you
shirt.
don't take time for your wellness, you'll be forced to take time for your illness.
Wow.
Yes.
This was a glorious day. Take a moment to breathe. I'm Renard. Peace.
Peace.
Okay, we can continue to talk though. We don't have to stop talking.
Yeah.